Welcome to Trading Lounge and the S&P 500 for the 2nd of October. This is the S&P on the daily chart now and looking quite bearish because we've broken through the 2950 area through here. So we will be looking at the bearish counts today, but also too we need to ask ourselves about any positive counts. Can this move up from here? Well, there's two possibilities that the market can still move up from here, as long as it doesn't move down too much further. So let's take a look at them. One of the first ones that we'd been working with was having the top here as wave 3 here, and then looking down for a correction, so as wave 4. So in this particular instance here, we can look at this was the high on the cash market, so we can look at this as an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, and 5 waves down for the C wave down through here. So that's one possible way of looking at it, and we need to investigate this particular structure here, but it's rather sharp for a C wave to come down. It's more like the beginnings of a third wave, but as long as it doesn't push past the 5 wave structure that that moves down through here. So once those 5 waves are completed here, then any move below that then would negate this particular count here. Is it possible that the market could move down further into the 2900 area here, which is the this support area through here? And that's also possible as well if we look at it in terms of having this as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, then up for wave 1 here, and an A and a B and a C for wave 2. I don't hold much weight for this particular count, but I just thought that we should throw it in anyway for that, because one of the reasons for that, because if this is just 5 waves down through here, 5 waves down, just down into, say, this space here, then a correction here, then we'll have to have the third wave, which is going to be the same length at minimum as the first wave here, then a fourth and then a fifth. So it's just not going to fit in there. So coming back to the daily chart here for a moment, you know, the one looking at this as a wave 4 pullback here is sort of okay-ish. But this would be the top of wave 1 here, so it can't move past the top of wave 1 here. So this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3 to here, 4 to here, and 5 to here. So the further that comes down, this is 5 waves in this bar here, just about. We'll look at that. So it can finish, you know, quite shortly here and move up from that point. So we just need to be, you know, we just need to be mindful of it, and yeah, we'll take it. We'll just need to be aware of it in our strategies, that's all. So with that in mind, looking, because we always mentioned that the 2950 as a retested resistance would send it into the more of a bearish picture, and that's sort of certainly the case at this point. We've just got one bar down here, so we can't really say that it's the retested resistance at this stage. It's just like this one has spiked through and gone back up, so it may do the same again, but so it's not retested there just yet. But anyway, let's go in and have a look at the counts to the downside here. So this is the first one here, where we have, in a nutshell, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here for wave 1. It's also possible as well, just by the by, to have wave 1 over here. It just depends on how you count this little structure within here, but that's possible at that point there. So I'll just put that, dull that way out at that point, but it still doesn't really leave us, you know, having it here or here doesn't really matter, because this would still be wave 2 over here, and this wave 2 here from wave 1 here to all the length of this here and coming back up here, that's right on the 61.8% retracement level for the wave 2. So that looks quite good from that point, and as I mentioned, we've got 5 waves down in this structure here. We'll take a closer look at that later, and if that's the case, then once that 5 waves is completed here, then we'll look for a little ABC correction for wave 2 here, and then, you know, we can look to go short from that that point down into wave 3, 4, and 5, and so on. So we're kind of setting up for a nice short trade now. Let me just go to the hourly chart here. So this is the count here in this space here. I'm not happy with the resolve of this wave 4 being in this place here, but it's kind of the best sort of count if we look at it in bearish terms. But otherwise, we would look at this as I mentioned before, copy this, put this over here as wave 1, then an A wave, an A, B, C for the B wave, and up for the C wave here. So we're focused on this here, but as I mentioned before, the trade setup here would be understanding 5 waves down through to here, and then having an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. This is the 61. We'll adjust that there, but that becomes, it's also possible this can be the wave 4 as mentioned before. So we'll just put this here, and for the time being we'll just dull it out a little bit, but it's there. And what the difference that makes is, of course, if that is wave 4, then we're just going to continue to move straight up through here. If this is corrective here, this would be roughly the 61.8% here, but it doesn't really have to go that high either, so we just need to be a little bit mindful of that there. So let's go in and look at this particular count in here. So this is 100 ticks. So from using this as the high here, because that was on the cash market as the high here, but it's not the high here. This is the actual high here. So I need to talk about this a little bit here. So if I put that there, you'll see that there is a slight difference here with these highs here. But if I use the cash market high here, then I'd be looking at this as well, 5 waves. Bit hard to see in there, but the first we can, well, you can see you can, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end, and sometimes you look at the you just look at the trend and you say to yourself, well, where's wave 2 or where's wave 4? What do you recognize first, and then you can work back from that point. But anyway, this is wave 1 and 2 here. This is a bit clearer here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave. And it looks like we're in finish for the 5th wave here as such here. Let me just check on that. Doesn't quite add up if we use this as wave 1 here. Nice ABC for wave 2 here. I suppose we could look at this as wave 1 here, but I just can't see that other wave in here. Got 1, 2, probably 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3, A, B, C for 4, down for 5, and then so that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. It does seem we seem to be getting an impulse wave here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. This will pull back as an ABC pattern, and then we'll probably move higher from that point there. This is one count that I've got here, and if this is the case, then we'll get an A and a B and a C back up into that space. But if that low holds there, then we can be looking back up into this space here. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, because just remember that if we get, I can't draw over this side here, so if we've come down here, if we get an A and a B and a C wave up here, we can draw a line through here, and you can always go low below this one here, but a breach of that would be the short trade there. The other point that I've got to make too, from this top here down to this low here, if I use my other chart here, which is my 20 tick chart here, then in that case, then from the top here, if I use this as the top rather than this one, then I would have wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And then all of this down here is wave 3 here. So 1 and 2, the same scenario here. So in this case here, So in this case here, we would only come back up to the 38.2% retracement level or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and then go down. So we don't really have to do anything at this stage. So this can be, I don't know if we're going to get 5 waves in this structure as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, or is it going to play out differently? But normally the A wave touches back into that space, so I'll just leave that there and that there. So if this just comes up to this space here and fails at the 2950 area here and then starts to move down again, then we'll know that we're just in the 5th wave. We've still got to finish off this structure here, so it'll be wave 5. So coming down into the 2930 to 2925 area for that, and then we'll go up for our ABC pattern at that point. Got to put that in there. So this is the other count. So I would just allow this to play out here for a while, you know. It's all about this level here. If the market comes up to this here and fails and moves down, then you know where you are. If it moves back up from this point here, then we need to look at this. If it comes up to here and then finds the 2950 as support, then you know that you're looking at an A and a B and a C correction back up into this space up here. And we'll put out a video for or chart to look at that particular turning point at that space there. But this is the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave up here. So you'll just draw a line straight through that, wherever that goes from that point. And once that's breached, then you know that you can trade on the short side from that point. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Report unless it's done.
Really?
Just holding up some plates.